FLIXBOLT, like, share, comment, subscribe and hit the bell. Released by Squaresoft in 1998, Parasite Eve is a sequel to the 1995 novel of the same name. The game has two sequels, Parasite Eve II and The Third Birthday. Let's summarize the series and make a case as to why we need a new Parasite Eve. Welcome to the FLIXBOLT channel. Today we make the case for a potential fourth entry to the Parasite Eve series. Because of its blend of RPG, action-adventure, and the then-new survival horror genre, it is often said to be the love child of the Final Fantasy and Resident Evil game. Parasite Eve 1 and 2 are directly linked, and Third Birthday is a spiritual successor. Despite the mixed reviews and the lukewarm reception of the third entry, the series has a strong following, mostly based on the strength of the first entry. The original Parasite Eve follows New York City police officer Aya Bray over a 6-day span. The story begins with Aya attending the opera on Christmas Eve. While watching the performance, she locks eyes with the lead actress, Melissa, and all hell breaks loose when actors and audience members burst into flames. This encounter grants Aya strange powers, called parasite energy. However, Melissa, who just so happens to be harboring a primordial horror inside her body, transforms into Eve, the game's antagonist. As the story progresses, Eve's and Aya's powers manifest, to where Aya gains more and stronger PE. Eve's powers begins to transform humans, animals and organisms into powerful and dangerous mutants. Some of the game's best cutscenes are Eve's transformation of human and animals. Eve's goal is to give birth to the ultimate being, so all these mutations are done to protect and defend her. The plot centers around the mystery of Eve and the progression of Aya's PE energy, to the climax, which is the horrifying bond between Aya and Eve, which will continue until one of them dies. Parasite Eve is an action RPG title billed as the first cinematic RPG by Square. Parasite Eve was ranked number 16 by the readers of Famitsu magazine in its top 100 PlayStation games of all time. Parasite Eve II is set 3 years after the events in the original game. Protagonist Aya Bray leaves the New York Police Department to become an FBI operative, and a special branch called MIST, the Mitochondria Investigation and Suppression Team, or MIST, is created. The gameplay diverges from the previous game, as battles now occur in real time and in open areas. It is now closer to a Resident Evil game, as there is no longer the active time bar to restrict or limit your actions. The horrors of mutated mitochondria hadn't ended for Aya Bray, as she discovers a new strain of creature from the first game. The new antagonist, Golem 9, wields a machete, wears combat armor and a gas mask, and often cackles with maniacal laughter. Think Jason from Friday the 13th, or Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. Golem 9 is trying to use technology resurrect the horror inflicted by Melissa in the first Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve II received generally positive reviews from critics upon its release in 2000. It received a score of 78.46% on Game Rankings, and 79% on Metacritic. It received praise for its new battle system and its suspenseful, intriguing plot. The game's graphics were also praised, especially considering how it was released at the end of the PlayStation 1 life cycle. However, the game was criticized for sometimes outdated, sluggish and awkward controls, and sometimes extremely challenging difficulty. The Third Birthday completely leaves its roots and becomes a full-on third-person role-playing shooter. Following an extinction-level event, Aya, who now suffers from amnesia, joins the new Counter-Twisted initiative. The game plays out as a series of missions, similar to a television series, with many events told out of sequence. And as the story goes on, Aya recovers memories, which help to explain how we got to this point. Counter-Twisted Investigation Headquarters acts as the game's main hub. This is where Aya can receive briefings for missions, view additional documents, buy and customize new weapons. Also, should she die during a mission, be the return point. During battles, Aya can use the overdrive. This new power allows her to swap places and control the bodies of nearby soldiers. In most battle situations, Aya is accompanied by a group of allied AI-controlled NPC soldiers that occupy the battlefield. At the end of each mission, Aya is given a grade based on performance, enemies killed, and the number of times she died. Depending on her score, she will earn differing amounts of bounty points, a currency used to customize weapons and repair protective gear in the hub area. The Third Birthday, on its own, could be considered a satisfactory and decent game. However, as an official Parasite Eve installment, it could be considered subpar. Parasite Eve was Square's first M-rated video game due to disturbing imagery, sexual themes, and violence. And with Square Enix remaking many of their past games, Parasite Eve could use a fresh coat of paint. With the popularity of newer Resident Evil and Final Fantasy games, it would be amazing to see another Parasite Eve game playing similar to a slower, more tactical Final Fantasy VII Remake. Memorable enemies and large boss fights would fit perfectly under the Final Fantasy VII Remake engine. Also, not to mention, there was quite a few plot holes. The entire series finished on a cliffhanger at the conclusion of Third Birthday. So what do you think? Would you like to see a new Parasite Eve? Also, which other games do you think we need a new entry of? Thanks for watching. Click the like button and subscribe. FLIXBOLT out.